Good afternoon, and thank you for joining me for another office hours training. I'm Crystal Elgun, your financial strategist and small business advisor. And part of my job as that strategist, be it on the business side or the personal side, is to help you create a solid financial relationship or a strong business base or foundation on which you can grow. I also help you have some aha moments, the self-discovery moments, and helping you see what no longer serves you so that you can release all of that and soar. All of that helps with the breakthroughs. That's where you start to shift. That's where the magic happens, be it on your personal side or on your overall business. And it's Thursday. So I decided this morning that I'm going to dedicate Thursdays to get your financial house in order on the personal side as well as on the business side. It is imperative that we do that. One of the things that we talk about in the Black community so much is breaking generational curses. Well, if you break a generational curse, you then have to create new strategies to pass down to the next generation, right? Or the curse just continues to come back. So getting your house in order will help with breaking the generational curses and creating the strategies to pass down to those next generations. We literally have to recode our DNA, right? So whether you're looking to build a solid budget, manage debt, or plan for the future, again, on the personal side or on the business side, my goal is to provide you with the tools and knowledge you need to achieve that financial stability and success. Redefining your personal financial relationship and your business financial relationship, because we know your personal financial relationship was not defined by you. And 9 times out of 10, your business financial relationship wasn't defined by you either. You have one, but in a lot of instances, it wasn't defined by you. The thoughts, the habits, the things that you do in that business was not defined by you. And so on the business side, I'm speaking mostly to those small family-owned and run businesses, the micro businesses with less than 20 employees, or those solopreneurs that wear all of the hats in the business. And we know it's a ton of them out there. So let's start with the thing that I love most, which is the foundation of everything. And y'all know it's the budget. So let's start with the budgeting essentials, and more specifically, 3 reasons and benefits to have an efficient and effective budget. So efficient and effective budget is not just the normal tracking of expenses and income, right? And so when most people say, oh, I have a budget, they typically have a budget that just lists their expenses, those things that they know are bills. So rent or mortgage, car payment, credit payments, right? They may have things on there that they do normally, like, if they go get their hair cut or to the barber or to the nail salon, or if they have that gym membership, because those are really bills, but it's all of that money that's not attached to a thing. So that's not already assigned to a job of paying one of these bills. That's where we lose. That's where we lose our way, right? And so an efficient and effective budget is going to list all of those bills, but it's going to then also include everything else in your life. So do you like to travel? So there's a travel account, the life insurance, all of those things. How much do you want to put in savings for retirement? So it's a look back or current look at what your bills are, but it's also a look to the future of how you how you actually want to live your life. And when I say the future, I don't necessarily mean 10, 20, 50 years from now, but including that, but also how you want to live your life today. How do you want to live your life from this day forward? Being intentional with your money, assigning every dollar that you earn a job in order to help you get there. So on the personal side, when you're building that solid, efficient, and effective budget, financial clarity and control. And I talked about financial clarity either yesterday or last Wednesday, but that financial clarity and control comes from a well-structured, efficient, and effective budget which can help you see exactly where your money is going. It helps you be intentional with your dollars. This clarity allows you to make informed financial decisions and avoid unnecessary expenses, right? So you have the money set aside to do the things that you want to do. You don't then just do the things and figure out, okay, well, now I'll figure out how to pay for it later, right? So it gives you financial clarity. The second thing is savings and emergency fund growth. An efficient and effective budget helps you to allocate those funds specifically for savings and emergencies. Remember, every dollar you earn should have a job. So there should be money allocated for savings, investment, retirement, right? But also some money allocated for emergencies, right? That's just sitting over here. Doesn't have to be a ton of money, but you want to get to that. Some people need more cash sitting around because they don't have credit. So, but to be able to have that savings and emergency fund, but being intentional with your money and knowing that you're setting those things up, excuse me, and having that line item allocation for each one of those. Obviously, having an emergency fund is going to give you the peace of mind when those unexpected situations show up. And life is going to do what life does, right? And an emergency or unexpected situation is going to go up. A few years ago, there was what I like to call the Great Flood in and around the city of Detroit when the sewer systems throughout the city just backed up because it rained like crazy hard for however many hours it was, and the system just couldn't take that. Well, that was definitely an unexpected situation. And so what happens, there were costs to that. Even if you had the insurance that then turned around and covered the cost, you still had to pay for things up front, right? So how are you getting the water out, the things that you need to use, you know, to clean up after that mess? And then now you have to throw out all of these things. Well, some of these things were necessary to replace. Did it mess up your furnace? Did it mess up your hot water tank? I know I needed a new hot water tank, right? So having those funds available for those unexpected situations to show up. And then building your savings and investments help with long-term life planning and being able to bless the next generation. Plus, it allows you to live the life that you want now. You know what I mean? As opposed to the one that you get after paying bills. So the third thing on the personal budgeting side, building a solid budget on the personal side, is debt. An efficient and effective budget is going to help you ensure your debts are paid on time, which then ultimately helps with your credit, right? But more importantly, it helps you to minimize debt in the long run because it's going to allow you to be, again, intentional with your dollars, decreasing the need for debt for smaller items like clothes, TVs, and computers. Reducing and eliminating this type of debt, those clothes, TVs, computers, right? Food that people are putting on there. This type of debt improves, eliminating rather, this type of debt will improve your financial relationship, allowing you to reallocate the money that you would spend on the interest to other areas that serve you better. So you go in and you spend $100, I don't know, you spent $300 on this TV, but you put it on a credit card, or you went to Best Buy or wherever and you got credit for it, or you bought this new laptop or whatever that is, and so you got the credit for it, and now you're paying on it. Well, now you've paid a lot of times for that item twice because of the interest, right? What else could you have done with that interest? But having an efficient and effective budget allows you to have money set aside for when you want to buy those smaller things that you should be buying with cash, again, to keep you from paying interest over time on that. So let's flip that side of the coin and talk about business budgeting, right? Because yes, even in your business, you need an efficient and effective budget. Listen, if you can't manage your personal finances, if you haven't redefined your personal financial relationship, if you are not managing your personal finances well, you cannot manage your business finances, because the same thoughts, habits, patterns, and traumas and all of that that's showing up to keeping you and are keeping you from managing your personal budget, it's going to show up on the business side, and it's going to keep you from doing that as well, right? And if you don't know how to do it on the personal side, not even talking about the habits and just setting one up, if you don't know how to do it on the personal side, how are you going to figure out how to do it on the business side, right? And so having an efficient and effective budget for the business right? Helps with operational efficiency. So it ensures that the resources are allocated effectively. That leads to efficient allocation, smooth operations, preventing overspending, and underfunding critical areas. Again, assigning every dollar that business earns a job, right? How much are you paying you, right? How much is the light bill? The second benefit or reason to have one is profitability tracking. So that efficient and effective budget helps track income and expenses accurately. You got to know your numbers. So many businesses that I talk to, so many that come in, they don't really know their numbers. I talked to a guy who started a uh, Airbnb business, and when we were talking about it, he did a checkup with me and we were talking through some things. And there were some mistakes that he made. One of the things that he didn't know his numbers. He didn't know where his true profit was. And then he went to do another Airbnb, and he winds up not being able to do it. It didn't work out. Part of the reason it didn't work out was he didn't realize and know his numbers, and he had gone through only one season. He hadn't actually gone through a whole season, so he didn't know where the ups and downs and where it was going to be more profitable. So you're tracking and you're thinking in your mind that you're doing really, really well, but you're doing really well at a time where people were coming to Airbnb. Well, now when the season slows down with that, now you have a problem. So profitability tracking, right? That budget allows you to measure profitability, identify trends. And that was the thing. He didn't know the trends yet because he had not been in business with that first Airbnb for a year. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to wait. It depends on your money, right? But he didn't know the trends. And so, because he didn't know the trends, when he jumped into it, he jumped into the second one in a season that there wasn't a lot of Airbnb traffic. So it helps to identify trends. It also allows you to make strategic decisions to improve your bottom line. So because he jumped into the second Airbnb before he should have, right? Um, it was a devastating hit to his business bottom line, to his personal pockets, as well as his credit. Okay. So now, third reason, financial planning and forecasting. An efficient and effective business budget provides a framework for future financial planning, right? It enables you to forecast financial needs, prepare for growth, and mitigate potential financial risk. The list goes on and on and on as a benefit for that when it comes to financial forecasting and planning. You got to know your numbers. You got to know the trends. You have to be able to say, well, I'm going to forecast this. Too often I see with businesses, um, and even with my business clients, every dollar isn't assigned a job. So the money that's just, that's there, they're using it, and they're they're using it for their day-to-day expenses. Like, the money isn't set aside for the business. So having that budget for the business allows you to say, here's my personal, here's my business. Am I paying myself? You should be, but you might not be able to pay yourself as much as you want to be. So but where's that balance? So you have to have the personal financial budget, but you also have to have that business financial budget so that you can really see what's going on. Okay. So you can imagine what my favorite thing for today is. Budget. Doesn't take a rocket science. So download my monthly household budget. Watch the videos in the past. I've talked about budgeting a lot, a lot, a lot. So watch those videos. Go back and complete the budget. I don't have a budget template for businesses. Typically, your accounting software, which you should have, can allow you to do that. And if you don't have accounting software yet, then just Google business budget template and start from there. It'll work. So you just want to make sure that you do that. So that is my favorite thing for today. Anytime I talk about budgeting, it's always going to be a budget. Again, that budget sets that foundation for which you can grow. You got to know the numbers. You got to know where your money is going. Every dollar you earn should absolutely positively have a job. That's how you start to be successful. And the earlier you have a budget, the earlier that you have that efficient and effective budget, the earlier that you assign dollars, a job, it means you're intentional from that point forward, which allows you to see and realize things that you would not have had you not had that intentional budget, that efficient and effective budget, and had you not been assigning every dollar you earn with a job. It's all about the foundation. If you're building a building, you can't start building the building on the third floor, right? If you want to build this 10-story building or a 5-story building, you can't just start on the first floor. It has to have a foundation, so you have to go down deep. How deep you go down depends on how tall this building is going to be, but that's why you see them going down below the ground. That's why you also see slab houses. I don't know where you are and if you have them, but there's some cities around here that have houses which sit on a slab, meaning there might be a crawl space, but there is no basement. Slab houses, guess what? They're only one level. So you're not going to see a colonial sitting on a slab, right? So you have to have a foundation. And that's what that efficient and effective budget is. It is a foundation on which you can grow and effectively manage your finances. And while you're creating it, you're going to have some healing that goes into it as well, right? So we know life is about elevation, right? It's a journey. That's why I always give really small next steps. It's about taking the journey one step at a time so that you can get the most of it. It's why I break it down into small steps. The journey is super, 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 super important, right? The journey, the small steps, because there's lessons, it's confidence building, it's healing. All of that goes into the journey. You don't get that at the destination, you get it in the journey. You do the small steps, you look back, you heal, you've climbed a mountain, you've built a multi-million-dollar business, right? So, what are those next 3 things that you're going to do after today? You are going to download the household budget worksheet. And if you haven't done it before, make sure you go back and you watch the previous episodes on budgeting and go back and make sure that you have your household budget. If you have a business and you haven't created an efficient and effective budget before you do your budget for your business, do your budget for your house. Do your own personal budget first, right? And then go back and do your house. So download the household budget worksheet. Again, if you have a business, if you don't have accounting software, just Google. Microsoft has one. Just Google business budget and find a template for free and Google it and then create your budget. Again, do your household budget first and then do your business budget and go back and assign every dollar you earn a job, even on the business side, right? And one of the things that if you have not done it before on the business side, on the personal side and on the business side, part of having that budget, my personal household budget for certain, is there going to be line item allocations on there that you may not think about, that you may not have thought of. And so seeing those line item allocations winds up allowing you to think about it and going back and doing some research and saying, well, maybe I need this. And so on the 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 business side, when I talk to some of my small business clients, and they don't have a budget and or they're not, and even sometimes when they do have a budget, there are things that's not on their budget that they didn't think about. Why? Because they've never run a business before, right? And even when you go to some trainings and things of that nature, you might miss it in the class. Always take the classes, but if you miss it in the class, how do you go back and do it? Well, that budget template can help you figure out some things that you might be missing if you're not working with somebody one-on-one, a business coach, in order to get you there, right? So download the budgets, create your budgets, your personal and then your business, and assign every dollar that you earn a job. Give it a job, right? That's where the magic is going to happen. That's where you start to take control of your finances. That's when you begin to be intentional with your money. You want to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, whether you are working for someone else or working for yourself. In an efficient and effective budget allows you to create and follow a plan. It's a plan, it's a strategy, so that you can live the life that you desire and deserve, and not the one that you get after paying bills. Okay. If this information has been helpful, please subscribe to my channel. Be sure to turn notifications on so that you don't miss a training. I was late today on a training. I had another meeting that ran over. And that's why I set it for 1 o'clock today, because I knew I wasn't going to be here. But turn notifications on so that you don't miss a training, and share these trainings with somebody else. Just share this channel with somebody else. You never know whether or not this will be the prayer, answering the prayer that they've been praying for silently and not telling you anything about it, right? Also, if you're in need of personal or business strategy, let's talk about it. The consultation scheduling links are below in the description. Always, 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 always remember to give yourself some grace. Give yourself some grace. You don't know what you don't know, right? But it is up to you to find out what you don't know. And because you don't know what you don't know, you don't know what questions to answer. So that means you need some help. You need some assistance. Again, if not with me, that's fine. Somewhere, find the free classes, do the things, do the workshops, tune into these free trainings, whatever it is. Give yourself some grace. Do the things that you need to do. Keep striving for your next level. Only your next level. You're not in competition with anybody else. You're here in this life to elevate to your next level, and never, ever, ever give up on you. Don't do it. Don't give up on you. Invest in you. It is the best investment that you will ever, ever make. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Be sure to join me for the private online Q&A immediately following. The link is in the description. And if you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on so you never miss this opportunity. Thank you again, and I will see you on the other side.